This is Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. Social media marketing is definitely a big part of how to reach your audience, especially now in this day and age. But a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners are leaning towards hiring social media managers. And yes, they are necessary. But my perspective for in my mind, in order to be an impact brand, you cannot just have a social media manager. That's like part of the whole wheel, right? You need to have something in place that not just manages how you're posting on social media, right? Because that's what a social media manager does. They're going to get your content. They're going to ask you, what is it that you're trying to uh, get out to your audience, right? They're going to package it in a nice little package, make it look all nice. They're going to create your copy, which is the wording, okay, or the videos, the images that you are going to display. Then they might schedule these posts for you, okay? So either you're giving them the posts or they're creating these posts. They're going to schedule them for you and make sure that these posts get out on these platforms whenever you have decided to schedule them, right? And that's really all that a social media manager is supposed to do. That is their basic job. They are managing your social media, making sure that it's scheduled, making sure also they usually also answer comments, or if somebody messages you, they'll be the ones to respond, depending on again how your service is set up. But all they're doing is managing your social media content. Okay, but there's so many more aspects to social media, or not to social. There's so many more aspects on how you can communicate with your audience, with your customers, that will make you more of an impact brand than if you just decide to hire a social media manager and that's it. Okay. From a business owner perspective, from an entrepreneur perspective, okay, there are a lot of us. There are so many entrepreneurs and business owners in the world, and we need to find ways to stand out amongst our audience, amongst everyone, really, not just our audience, not just our customers, but our team members and the people that we communicate with on a daily basis, our community, right? The community that we are building. And if we're just a business owner, entrepreneur, and we only hire a social media manager, that means you have to be responsible for knowing or understanding or the setup of how you are communicating, not on just social media. And is how are you communicating with your clients before and after? Is there a customer service aspect in play? That's a part of your marketing. Okay, your marketing team. Who on your marketing team is actually responding and answering these uh, customer service requests? So if somebody has feedback, they have a comment, a question, a concern, right? And they reach out to your company, okay, do you have somebody in place that's going to be answering those questions? Is that you? Okay, that could be you. But then we've also got video content, because yes, we have a social media manager who is the one that, again, scheduling the posts, and they might be creating it, they might not be. So if they're not creating the post, the content, that means the content creation is now on to you. So now you've got to start thinking about, what am I offering? Okay. And when you're doing content, it's not just about what are you offering and how do you get it out. There's a planning that is involved, right? It's called a social media content planning or social media strategy. Okay, so you've got to figure out your timing. Okay, so you might sell women's clothing, right? And during the fall, you start selling warmer clothes versus it's been summertime all along. So you've been selling, tank tops and, summer dresses, things like that. If you are a social media content manager, okay, your job is not to focus on what is going out there, because your company, the content or the business that you are managing the content for, Your only job is to get the content that they ask for or create the content that they ask for and post it. Your job is not to think about, well, it's switching from summer to fall, so maybe I should change the messaging. No, your job is just to post what they ask. So if you as a business owner don't ask your social media manager, if you're not paying attention, okay, I need to change up my marketing now. Can you now post this? Now you're getting old information out to your audience and you look like an inconsistent brand. Yes, you need a social media content manager. Okay. Yes, that's one. You also need a customer service, somebody who's you also need some type of customer service rep, somebody who's just focusing on how are you interacting with the customers, okay? Whether it's any type of complaint, question, comment, concern, that kind of thing. You also want a part of your marketing team to work on the engagement factor, right? So, are you having any promotions, any events, anything to attract your customer? That's what the engagement person is about. How are we attracting these people? Okay. So, the content media manager doesn't do any of that. Okay. So, yes, when you're hiring a manager, a content media manager, okay, a social media content manager, when you're hiring somebody to manage your content on social media, it does help you, it does save you some time. But in the long run, you're going to end up needing more people involved in your wheel of marketing, or you're going to need to put more effort into learning marketing. Okay. So you just need to keep this in mind because there's a lot of different aspects to marketing and to impact brand marketing, right? And if you only take little bits and pieces, you're not going to get the full picture. You're not going to get the full impact that you are looking for as far as making that brand, impact your customers, impact your team members. Okay. Focus on how you can efficiently. Okay, so you want to make sure that when you are focusing on your marketing, your brand marketing, your impact brand marketing, that you've got your social media covered, your customer service covered, your engagement covered. Okay, and then how are you communicating the words, okay, that you're using? There's Once you get at least those three in place, those three wheels, okay, your social media, your customer service, and your events, your engagement. Once you've got at least those set up, you're on the right path, the right track to becoming an impact brand and having an impact brand marketing team. So think about that as you start your journey towards your marketing. Okay, if it's just you by yourself right now, start focusing on things like, again, how am I getting my social media content out there? How am I creating events that engage my customers, and how am I setting up my customer service so I am making sure that my customers feel appreciated and that they'll leave these 5-star reviews, right? So whether you're doing it by yourself or you decide that it's time for you to start recruiting and getting these people in place for your team, start focusing on your brand impact marketing. Okay, because that's what's going to get you further along and seen amongst the sea of all the different business owners that are out there. You'll be able to stand out amongst the rest, just by having a little bit of impact with your brand. All right, friend, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. Till next time, stay bright, stay beautiful, keep on smiling. Later, Gator. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in having an interview or sponsoring the show, then check the description below. If you enjoyed this episode, then like and subscribe to support Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. And if you are struggling with your brand impact, then watch the next video.